starting since the beginning.
Yeah.
What about that?
Of course. We're live, guys.
We're live.
We got Maji Race here.
It's a sad day. I won't lie to you.
What's up, guys? Is everybody there? Anybody there? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, we got to zump it. All right, we got a couple. We got like 20 people in here. The chat's building. 22. Anyway.
Anyway, guys, it's a sad day. It's a sad day yesterday. I was talking to Sister Benny right now. Benny keeps right, Sister Benny. And he was really sad. He knew Sister Benny knew since he was 5 years old. 5 years old. Sister Benny said he went for a run just to calm his nerves down. But he can get it. And I was so sad because I know Lebell since I got to America 27 years ago. When I came to the gym, at the Jets gym, since he comes up to me, he says, "Hey, you know Benny?" I said, "Yeah." If you touch him, I'll kill you. Like, who's this old man walking away and passes me by? And Sister Benny comes next to me. I said, "Sister Benny, who's this old man?" He says to me, "If I touch you, you're going to kill me." He says, "That's Sister Jean. He's my sensei. He will kill you for real." So I had no idea who Jean was. Then after that, and we became very good friends after that. Him and his wife used to do stuntman. He was an amazing stuntman. And no one knows that, but most people don't know that. He's also known for Steven Seagal one time on the movie set and tried to tell Gene what to do. And Gene was a stunt coordinator, and he said, "Oh, it doesn't work." He said, "Look, you want to try this technique on me?" So he tried to do technique, and he kicked Sensei Gene on his leg. And Gene was in his 70s, 60s, a very old man at the time. And he kicked him. Gene grabbed him, choked him out. And they had to jump on him to release him, but I want to talk too detail what they found in his pants that day, but I'm not going to go into that. But since Gene is a real man, he's a real warrior, he's a man who was a stuntman, was a motorcycle guy, was a stuntman wheelies, and he told me how he dated his girlfriend, his wife now. Then he told her to get him the backpack and shoot a wheelie all the way up there. And since that time, they were married more than 50 years. So he's an amazing person, not just a great warrior, but a great man. And I think about this life, and I think about the incredible being that he was. You know, he created a family that people talk about. You know, this thing, Jim Lebell, his techniques, how he defended. He started the LAPD SWAT team with his sticks, how to defend, how to undefend, lock the people in. This is his creation.
You have it upside down.
Yeah, and he created a lot of incredible stuff. He created a lot of incredible stuff for the world. He's a very smart guy. He also worked with, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee went up to him and learned from him how to grapple. It was with him. No one even knows that, but it was him. And the bodyguard that came with Tom, what's his name? The movie that came out recently. The two guys, Brad Pitt and the other. And Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, when he becomes the actor and he's the stuntman. The stuntman was something Gene Lebell. That was Gene Lebell based on his story. So yeah, a lot of people don't know he's a great man. I had a great opportunity to work with him for years, and we also did a TV show one time. It was a talent show where the fighters come inside the ring with me. I get to work with them. Whoever lasts long wins the winning, and he's the referee. While he's the referee, and I'm going with each one by one, and having a blast. He just finished the game quick, so I take the guy quickly. So Gene is a very funny man, very human. Since when he was telling me just when he was in his deathbed, since when he said that Gokor comes in and says, "Hey Gokor, let me get you in choke. Hey Benny, get me in choke." And while he has the oxygen tube in his nose, and he says, "I'm choking Gene," and Gene is choking Gokor, and he still has a sense of humor. How interesting is that? He's on his deathbed, not knowing when he's dying. He still has a humor. That's what true warriors are. It doesn't matter you're in your deathbed. You smile, going out smiling, coming in smiling. That's an incredible person. If we learn something from legendary people like this, is to realize that, listen, we all are vulnerable. But what makes us much even vulnerable when we open ourselves to the world, say, hey, we are vulnerable, and have humor out of it, and no humility, and understand this is life. People fall, people rise, but how you live life and what you leave behind is important. And I don't know if you have a chance, but Gene was an amazing, funny guy. And every time he grappled, choked, he did all the weird stuff. And I spent so many years with him, and I loved him. And go-kart at the gym. So that was my school at the time. We cracked so many people up, but that was just fun. It was just,
Yeah. I had an interesting relationship with Gene Lebell. I don't know if I would call it a relationship, but I met him when I was 18, and he cranked the fuck out of my neck. So I hated that old man for most of my life. He was an asshole, but he wasn't.
He was.
This is no. He wasn't an asshole. But
Yeah.
let me. This is from my point of view.
Oh yeah.
From my point of view, he's an asshole. I've done this story before on my channel, but for those of you guys that haven't seen it before, remember I'm cool with Gene. I'm cool. We reconciled, and it's just an interesting story because
but people don't realize why he did that. People say, "Oh, to a punch." He actually showed it to you what it meant to be, what pain is. People say, "Oh, people don't realize what a choke is, what a grapple is." He would do it for people to recognize the value of what it is. And it would actually show them respect. People said, in this world, no one respects anyone. You look at the kids talking to their parents like they have no respect because they know what the real power is. When Gene Lebell grabbed me first, I was like, oh, my eyeballs came out of my skull. I think this is going to pop out. He said, are you okay? I said, but also, yes, he was having fun at the same time. He was enjoying it. But he's a man who had a lot of experience in his past and grappled real wrestlers, real grapplers in a hard way. And he was the only American in the history of judo back in 1970s. He won the gold medal. He won the gold medal to the American in the history of that. You know that? 1970s. He's the only American who ever won the medal in judo in the history of American judo. No one at the time in America has ever won a judo.
Right. We haven't had real good American judo players very often. Jimmy Pedro and Jason Morris, but anyway, they were bronze and silver. Anyway, here's my story. I'm 18. We go over to Go Course on a Monday night because that's the night that Gene's gonna show some moves, and we're lined up on the wall, and Gene uses me because I'm not from their school. They want to.
Number one.
The other thing is, when you're like a foreigner, you're from the outside, they're gonna, and it's Gene's old school. So old school guys, they fuck you up, they hurt you. And that's how so it doesn't mean this is me at the time. As 18-year-old, I don't like this. But I now understand this is just the way the old school guys were.
And
the catch wrestling guys, they're very rough, and I'm not that way. But even though I was brought up in a rough wrestling upbringing, you don't crank the shit out of your partner like that hard. So he uses me and he says, grab a single leg. And then you got to understand, he's old school, so the technology has improved. When someone says single leg in wrestling, modern times, and this is in the 90s, we put our head on the inside. We don't, if you want a high crotch, we go head outside. But Gene's so old that, and he says single leg, he just means grab a single leg, and he wants me to put the head on the outside. And in my mind, I'm like, if you wanted that, you could have just said high crotch. But again, I'm a wrestler. Gene, although he says he's a wrestler, he's a judo guy, and he has professional wrestling and catch wrestling background. So he says single leg, he wants head on the outside. So he goes, not like that, put your head on the outside, kid. So I put my head on the outside, and he cross faces me. And he locks the crossface, and Gene Lebell loves this lock. He locks the crossface and spins me around. Did I say I was 18 and I was about 130 pounds? And Gene grabs my neck. So not only am I in pain from the crossface, but he's also pushing my neck this way, which is going to break your neck. And I'm young, I'm 18, but so I can take a little. But man, I tapped about 11 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And finally he let go. That's why he's an asshole. But I was like, I never forgot that. I was like, man. Then later on in life, you know, I witnessed firsthand Gene would choke out his son, and he would choke him out at seminars and leave him laying passed out on the floor. I witnessed it firsthand. And I don't know how much his son trained. I don't think he trained that much. Did he?
Not just his son.
A little bit.
He demolished everybody.
Well, he would again, as a demonstration, he would choke out his son. It might have been a gi choke, which is a little safer. What I mean by safer is rear naked chokes and things like they can kind of crank and pop, and you know when you choke with a gi, it's a nice sleep. Yeah. Anyway, I went quite a number of years without running into Gene all that often, and I always knew never let him put his hands on me because like I thought when I was 130 and I'm 18, out of respect for Gene, I never said anything. I just like took it. I didn't like him, but I took it. And as I'm 25, 26, you know, at this point in my life, I'm a man now. I would never let that guy get close to me. But I met Big John McCarthy, and Big John McCarthy hires me. So I get hired by, you guys don't know Big John McCarthy, referee for the UFC. He hires me to train his fighters at his new gym. And we were together the same time. And this is how he and I met. So he was training the striking with the fight team, and then I was training the grappling and the wrestling. So, you know, Big John said, I love the old man, but don't let him get near you. Don't let him touch you. Don't let him grab you. Nothing. I'm going to make the story as short as I can. I end up going back home to Oxnard, California, and I see a school and it says grappling. And I go, I didn't know there was a grappling school, jiu-jitsu school in my hometown. So I go inside and it's 10 o'clock at night. It's like 9 o'clock at night in Oxnard. And what do I see? Gene Lebell is there with his wife, sitting down in a martial arts school. No classes going on. This is late night. Like they should be closed. But he's sitting there, and it's a guy named Dana Charvet. He's a kung fu guy. I don't have very much respect for him. Sorry. I'm an honest person. I don't have too much respect for Dana. But Dana was a guy, I think he's a kung fu guy. And I'm not trying to talk, I'm not going to get into the smack talk, but Gene was, they made a deal, and he's going to teach grappling at his school. That night I spent at least 2 hours. It could have been 4 hours. I don't know. Yeah. I'm showing moves with Gene Lebell. And so this is us kind of reconciling. I never let him get close to me. So he and I are showing techniques, and we were using Dana because Dana didn't know much grappling. And I witnessed him asking me to show something on the mat, not on the mat, on a hard floor, like on a karate floor, like a wooden floor. Wow. And I get him in a position. It was like this. It was like, and show on this side. It was like this, like I'm in the mount, and he's like, so then what do you do? What do you do here, here? All these different variations, like going into this, like going into all this stuff. Wrist, he goes, show me wrist lock, show me this, show me that. And I'm showing him what I would do. And he goes, not like that. Like I go, you got to show me. So I don't know which one you're talking about. And Gene Lebell gets Dana like this, right? And he's looking for this. And then he gets down, just look that way, coach. He went here and he bites Dana's ear.
And for real.
For real. And I hear Dana scream, ah! Gene. He gets up off of him, and I take a couple steps back, and I swear, Majid, Dana's ear is bleeding down his neck into his t-shirt, on a white t-shirt, dripping blood. And I'm like, he's like, hey, Gene, don't bite me, Gene, you crazy. He's dripping blood, and I'm like, bro, you're dripping, bro. You need to go change your shirt right now. You got to go clean that up, get some first aid on that. Gene keeps going. We just keep talking.
So one time there was a seminar, live audience seminar. This is a true story. So this guy invited Sensei Gene to do a seminar for all these people. So everybody's there, and this is at the end of it. He says, "This is a special event for you. So please, we want to do a festival." So it's what they did. They wanted to host him up as a tribute to what great Gene Lebell is. So Gene Lebell comes in and start talking. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. So the guy comes in, shake hands with him. The guy who did the whole event, like over close to 800-900 people showed up at the event. So Gene Lebell holds him, chokes him, pays him out. The guy passes out. He goes into his wallet, spits 100, gives out the money to people, puts back in his wallet.
No.
And the guy wakes up, see what happened. People thought it was a joke. It wasn't a joke. He really did it. So what I'm trying to say, guys, he has a very funny guy. Yes, because he's been doing all of his life, and for him this is second nature. It's like telling a line, hey, not to bite, to eat. He's stuff. He's gonna do it regardless. So, and I think Gene is, for me, I loved him. We worked a lot. In Gokor School, I loved him. He's a great guy. Amazing humor, sense of humor. He said, I'm handsome. Of course you're always handsome. I'm handsome than you are. I said, of course you are. He also mentioned that. So I want to know that people remember that, hey,
he had a lot of good jokes.
It's a great joke, but it's not about the skill. It's about the attitude in life, and how funny, hilarious. Don't mind that hurting people. He didn't mean that. If you were hurt, he would really put you in really serious trouble. You can see, which is very close to the fine line between hurting and then like that. So yes, I really admire him. Appreciate him every time I spend with him. His wife is amazing. It's amazing. What a good person. And I was, like I said, I was talking to Sensei Benny, and he was sad today. And I spoke to Sensei Gokor right now, and he was real sad. But you know what? At the end of the day, how he lived his life, that was more important. What he left behind, that's more important. So what I can say, something, if you have to put somebody's smile on somebody's face without hurting people, that's a great joke.
So let me finish. He gave me this that night. This is the one. I did not buy this. I wish I had it signed. He gave this to me. He would sell this, Gene Lebell's club, right? The club master. It's of his club in town. He gave me this that night that he bit that dude's ear. And you know what's funny? That was probably 12 years ago. And roughly, give or take. And the end of the story goes like this. I run into Gene the last time I spoke with him. It was a couple years ago. We were at an MMA event. He was a judge for MMA. And it was before the show started. And I got to spend about an hour with him. So this is the last time I got to spend time with him. We sat down together one-on-one. It wasn't planned. He's sitting there at the event. And he's very old now. Now I don't worry because he can't hurt me anymore. He's past the age where he can actually, like I said, 12 years ago, he could still grab you and hurt you.
Really bad.
Even though he was very old then. He had to have been 70 probably. In his 70s. So he's now old enough. He's in his 80s. He's not going to hurt me. I felt comfortable with him, but I asked him questions. I told him, I said, when I was 18, you cranked my neck. You know what he said? He goes, I'm sorry.
Wow.
And I couldn't help it. I said, man, it's okay, Gene. I was telling you, thank you.
See,
you know what?
His heart was fair. You can see how his heart was.
You know what else I told him? I said, hey, do you remember that one night? He said, yes. He remembered the night that we went over these techniques for about 3 hours, whatever it was, 2, 3, I can't remember. But we just went over moves, move after move, move after move. And then I asked him, I said, do you remember biting this guy Dana's ear and making him bleed? And he goes, no, but that sounds like something I do. And I was just laughing because I was like, yeah, you do it, Gene. Anyway, we had a great time that night.
Yeah, it's not only that, it's just an incredible being. Like, remember, as a martial artist, you don't remember for your great things, but I was very fortunate that he refereed Muhammad Ali and for Inoki, for famous wrestler in Japan. He was refereed for that. So I can say in my lifetime, he refereed for me an exhibition television show that I did for pros versus amateurs. So it was professional fighters against ordinary people, it was a TV show that I did, reality show Checker, and he was the referee. So and we had such a great time. He's such a hilarious guy. I don't hurt him too much, just make it quick and easy. while the fight is going on, he's commentating because I'm the professional. So we're having such a blast, and I had like maybe 10 rounds, 10 different people. I had like a blast. But that's what makes so difference when you're so, you lived your life so much fully in the sport, you committed so much to it, that it becomes a second nature. And having a humor, having love and affection for everybody. He had no enemies, I promise you. He was so friendly to everybody. And he's always looking out for the victim. Anybody want to grapple? Let me show you this. Boom. Next thing you know, the guy on the floor, he passed out. So at the end of the battle, I salute you, I respect you, I love you for what you've done. Not the hurting part, but the main part of teaching the people and what you've served us. It's incredible. I'm so excited.
They're saying the last couple minutes was inaudible. Maybe they didn't hear it. I don't know which one. Can you guys hear us now? Can you guys hear us?
Anyone can say yes or no.
Maybe
no one heard.
Maybe they still can't hear us. Sound is choppy.
Oh, the sound is no good.
Ooh, no. Yes, but choppy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was lucky that he was a referee for my TV show reality, so I was very fortunate that I can have somewhat history with him. And that's the lucky thing for me. And he's an amazing guy. And Brian had a good experience. I had a good experience. And so many ways.
In the end, it was a good experience.
Yeah. It's an incredible
reconciled.
Yeah.
And it's very sad to hear his passing, but you know what? He had a great life, and we all knew we can't live forever. Yeah. And I think he doesn't regret it. Of course,
and
not
also
now.
His famous book, The Grappling of Lebell, how many moves that he made.
Yeah.
He was ahead of his game when he made that.
Yeah, he was ahead of his game.
Where?
You know, he had his fight with Milo Savage. I know that somebody mentioned it earlier, where he was able to choke out the boxer Milo Savage. Some people credit him as the first mixed martial arts mixed martial arts fight. You know, but
people don't even know he's a great stuntman. Also, I'm a stuntman myself, so I know the world of stunts. He's incredibly known for that. Incredible wheelie. He used to do wheelies for almost half a mile wheelies. He was incredibly known for that. Anyway, my regards, my respect. May God bless his soul, respect to him. And we are so fortunate to have incredible people in our lifetime. And we're in this decade where we get to meet Jean Lebell. And now before the Boosty died, but we have legendary people like Jean Lebell just passing us right now. We're so fortunate to meet him. We still have great people like Ben the Jet. We have Gracie family like them, and it's incredible people. So we're full blessed. So please, guys, no one lasts forever in this world. So please take an opportunity, like I did, travel around the world to follow my idol, Benny the Jet, who traveled with them. Bill Wallace, all the greatest fighters out there. So please take an opportunity, spend this time and energy with them. Get to rub shoulders with them, what they have to teach you. You don't understand the reason I and him are talking, because we rub shoulders with so many great fighters. And that's why we can give a little bit of us. Because when you learn from so many teachers, not one teacher, you have to learn from as many people who come in your path. Sometimes it's just your neighbor teaching you something, how to behave with people. Sometimes it's the guy in front of you who teaches you something. The knowledge is important. Without the knowledge, we are nobody. We are just an insects and animals. What makes us so good and better is who we treat and how we treat people. Guys, I'm so happy you're hanging on the line with me and you get to watch us and enjoy who Jean Lebell is. Like I said, the great movie that came out between, what's the name? Leonardo.
I'm working on the sound, guys.
It's not working?
I'm working on it. So, go ahead.
Amazing legend, yes.
Oh, the sound's great now?
Sounds great. That's my
okay.
sensei.
Then maybe we'll keep it going.
Yeah.
I was going to switch it to my phone. It might work better with my phone. But
yeah. Yeah, what else can I not say about Jean Lebell? If you ever been around her, if you have grabbed you, that would be the last time ever allowing any old man to grab you. Imagine me sitting in Studio City in the gym and just Benny the Jet gym, and he walks, old man comes by walking like this. Hey, you know Benny? Yeah. You touch him, I kill you. What? I was old Pakistan champion. I was like, who's this old man walking by? And then I said, Benny, sensei, he said that to me. He says, that's my sensei. He will choke you. Be careful. And he's so humble. He's very kind and humble, and so deceivingly unpredictable. You can't see by look. If a normal guy, you had no idea who he was. you're in serious trouble. Like literally, am I wrong or right? Like, did I tell you that right, when how he grabbed Steven?
Yeah,
Steven Seagal.
the famous
Steven Seagal
famous
joke
Steven Seagal situation, which
in this.
Steven Seagal still, I think, denies. But there's a lot of people that firsthand witnesses that said that it happened.
And it happened really, and I know the people who saw it, and I'm a stuntman, so some people don't lie. So they keep it hush-hush to it, because remember, Steven Seagal he has his own arrogancy that he's tough, this and that. Reality is, real fighters, they don't talk, they do action. Even like Jim Lebell put him down, and they had two guys grab him to pull his arm away, or two or three guys came in, pulled him off. And when he was getting up, then they found something in his pants, which I'm not supposed to say it, but anyway, I repeated it twice already. But yes, all the stunt people world, we know it, because stunts don't lie. Stunts don't make up these things. Anyway, but what I want to say, guys, thank you for putting this time. Brian, you put the effort to talk about this, and legendary people like us. And
I think like I've got to get everything out of my head on video.
I feel the same
because
thing. And he inspired me to make a video all the time. I never do it. I'm so sorry. I gotta be honest with myself. Before I leave this earth, I'll leave something behind you.
Yeah,
at least you left something behind.
Yeah, like when I think about it, like YouTube's gonna stay there for. I know it'll die out. We all die. We'll be forgotten. But some things I can have more effect on so many people.
Yes.
That's what I think about.
I could do something with that too. But I'm working on my.
That's why I started my channel. It was not, nowadays everybody gets into YouTube because they're like, I can make money doing YouTube, and I'm like, yeah, it's not a lot of money in YouTube. It's a lot of work. But I do it because it's my art. I feel like it's my art. I'm showing you guys what I know in my art.
And I'm inspired because of him, and definitely I'm working on it to work on it every day.
Yeah.
I work on it. I'm trying to be consistent. It's very hard. Anyway, guys, if you do something today, do me a favor, pray for Gene Lebell for his blessings, and let us follow his footsteps to become a great man, serving other people as you've done for us, and great memories for a lot of people who stay behind. Amen. Ciao. See you later, buddy.
Hey, go teach those kids. We got kids out there. Anyway.
Ciao.
So, guys, what else can I say? I know that some of it was choppy earlier, I guess. Hopefully you guys heard my story. I think I've told the story before. Gene Lebell, man, he's very important. I don't think it's not like he taught me everything I know, but I think that he's one of those people, those famous people that had an effect on me. I got to firsthand meet him and be around him and learn from him. I probably took 5 classes with him. I mean, that's probably about how many times I trained with him. Maybe 5 classes. But getting the chance to hang out with him, like I said, I got to spend several hours with him, working techniques for one night, intimately, just me and him. That was an experience I'll never forget. And I think that he changed the world a lot, because jiu-jitsu was there for me, my experience. He's long before me, but in the 90s, can I help you? Okay. Anyway, that's Dave. Dave's the black belt that was just on the channel the other day. If you guys haven't checked that video out, go check it out. On the under a minute challenge. I think that Gene changed the world quite a bit, because when the Brazilians were there, Gene was like the alternative. It's like, if you're gonna learn grappling, you got to learn from a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, or Gene Lebell, or Gokor. In that sense, Gokor was training Ken Shamrock and all these other guys, many others, and he had the influence on the other grapplers, the alternative to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and so he had a huge impact on the world. And then you got Ronda Rousey. You got that was kind of the connection when she came from judo. It's like, well, if you wanted to get into MMA, you obviously have to go through the path of Jean Lebell and Gokor. So that's kind of how she got into it. Yeah, he had a huge effect on the world, and going to their school, that's how I met Carl Parisian. Used to train a lot with Carl, and yeah, it's just no matter what happens, it's a sad day when these people pass. But again, if it can be looked at in a good way, think about it. I mean, great life, touched a lot of people's lives, great sense of humor, and he lived a long time. So, he died with, I'm sure, all of his closest friends and family around him. So, yeah, that's all I got. So, yeah, Jean Lebell, man. Sad to hear it, but I definitely I haven't gone live in a long time. And somebody I just noticed in the comments the connection to Bruce Lee. Jean Lebell, man, helping out Bruce Lee with his grappling, giving him different perspective in martial arts. That's a huge influence. There's so much influence. If you think about the ripple effect that Judo Jean Lebell had on the world, it's enormous. So, and he was such a character. So, anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to come on here and say something. I'm not as big on social media maybe as I used to on Facebook, or I don't go on Instagram much. Yeah, that's about it. Hey, Luis.
Yes, sir.
Come on over here. I want to introduce you to some people. So, guys, this is Luis. Goes by Huicho. Anyway, check out the PG camp shirt he's got. Anyway, thank you, Michael Sable. Yeah, we owe a lot. Jean Lebell, Carl Gotch. This is Luis. Luis is the guy. If you haven't noticed, the channel has changed a little bit in the last few months. Our thumbnails have gotten a lot more professional looking. That's because of this man. He does a lot of the filming. He basically does almost all of the filming in the videos. And I know some of you guys have commented and seen how the angles, just things like that. Because in the past, somebody said it, I was such an asshole to my camera guys. Well, now I have a professional. I don't have to yell at him to get in position. He knows what it takes, and he does an amazing job. There's a lot of people that film videos on YouTube, and they pretty much just, the guy showing the technique is here, and the camera's here, and that's it. You just show the technique, and the camera's like this. This is how almost all the BJJ Fanatics videos look, and that's not at all what this man can do. He can do so much more than that. He gets in positions, and I love it. And that's one thing. I'm a fan of my own channel because of him. Like when I see the angles and I really get pumped up, because I just think it's much better content that way when you get those angles. So this is the guy. I want to give him some credit for making the channel what it is, whether it be designing our clothing, our gear, everything was sub only, everything PG, all the angles. I'm so proud of what we have, and it's because of Luis. So anyway, that's him. What's up? Did you ever get to meet Gene? No, never got to meet him. He's been around a long time, but he went in the Marine Corps and then came out, and he was away. He was doing his art, and then if you guys have seen on the videos, there's artwork all around our gym. Again, this man, he does all the murals in our gym, and does an amazing job. So I guess that's about it, buddy. What can we say?
We do listen to everybody, and I think he reads everything.
Yeah,
So
I don't always comment, guys, but I do read everything. So
we're listening.
Yeah, I'm listening. I feel so bad now. I feel terrible. You know why? Because there's people that I owe stuff to, and now what if I pass? man, if I pass and I don't get the shit done, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to come back and haunt. Guys, there's people out there that have asked for videos. There's some people I owe stuff to. I know Andre, his name's a little different. I'm sorry if I mispronounced, but I know I owe him a video. There's guy wanted a running the pipe video. And again, I want to get to everything. There's still so much I could take out of my head and give to you guys. And I want to do that before I go. Not that I plan on going anytime soon, but I'm only 44. But you never know. Life is precious, and it's fleeting. And sometimes we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So that's cool. That's what's cool about it.
This is a reminder that
these times.
Yeah, it's even, I don't know who's online, but it's special because we're building a community.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I love my life. You know, look at what I get to do, guys. I mean, it wasn't easy in the beginning at all. It was a lot of work. But now I get to really feel, even though it's still work, the hard part never goes away. I'm always working hard, but it's way better to be working hard, teaching martial arts to you guys through YouTube, through my academy, Peterson Grapplers, cooking barbecue for everybody. That's another thing I do on the site. All of that stuff. I get to do that instead of digging ditches. So there's people out there that are working way harder than us and, with much tougher lives. And so I feel very fortunate. And it's times like this when close people, the people that are amazing pass, it makes us helps us refocus our energy to help the world, to make the world a better place. Because again, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We're all going to, in the end game, going to lose our people that are close to us at some point or another, or we're going to go. And so we only got time to get our shit done. And so that's why I want to get more things done. There's so much more to do. And thank you guys. Love you guys. So that's all really I have to say. Anything else?
Love you guys.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Again, Michael Sable, thank you so much for donating right now. But and that's not why I'm doing this, but thank you. Appreciate you. If you want me to do anything, Michael, you let me know. If you have a question, ask it now. If you want me to try to help you in any way, let me know. So looks like we have a question here from Nortz. How stronger can you get in wrestling by gaining 10 to 15 pounds? Quite a bit. If you're not just eating donuts, you can get a lot stronger, in wrestling by gaining 10 to 15 pounds. You put 10 to 15 pounds on me, and I'm gonna throw you around. You give me 10 to 15 pounds, that's a lot. But again, it's all relative to how you put that 10 to 15 pounds on. But if I get 10 to 15 pounds of muscle, you're not getting away. You better be huge. So, yeah. Awesome, Michael. 54-year-old blue belt. Thank you. I really appreciate you and all of you guys. So, he wants you to cook barbecue. Yeah, today I just barbecued for the guys. I take care of my instructors. Cooked some chicken today, barbecue chicken. I cooked a whole hog a couple weeks ago. First time cooking a whole hog, whole pig. And anyway, I love barbecuing. It's kind of a side thing. But someday maybe I'll open a restaurant. So I got dreams. So anyway, maybe I'll do a video. That's a good question. That's a good, because Zumpit says, why don't I make a video on the high crotch counter that Gene showed me, which is basically just locking the crossface. I think I am going to do that now. I will do that. I'm doing it. That's it. Thank you, Kazumpit. You just had an effect on me. I'm going to do a video, and it's going to be basically what Gene Lebell showed me. And again, it's not like I didn't know it already. Like I had known it, but it's a good story. I will never forget Gene Lebell for cranking the fuck out of my neck. Excuse my language. He really popped my neck. I was hurt for like 2 weeks. You take it when it happens, but I was messed up for 2 weeks from that. And I don't think he needed to do that. But nonetheless, I'm never going to forget it. And yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Again, if Gene Lebell can hear me, miss you, buddy. Love you. And guys, everybody out there, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next time with more great stuff. All right. See ya.